Arizona Wildcats had a 33-2 run in this ball game tonight. 20 straight points at one point. This game was 37-37 with a minute 26 to go in the first half. And with 15:40 to go in the second half, it was 57-37. And by the 11-minute mark of the second half, it was 70-39. So from 37-37 to 70-39. And the Arizona Wildcats roll on to beat the UT-Arlington Mavericks tonight at McHale Center, 101-56. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Postgame show. I am David Kelly. I've got Kelvin Efon with me. We've got J.W. Madden here as well. We'll take your calls tonight. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290, the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Arizona now 5-0 on the season, and they move on now to their next big matchup of this non-conference part of the schedule. Thanksgiving Day in Palm Desert, California. They will take on the Michigan State Spartans in a nationally televised contest that will begin at 2 p.m. 7 players tonight scored in double figures. And we talked about that in the pregame show, how balanced this team is. And boy, oh boy, was that on display tonight. I asked for a nice night from Pelle Larsson. He scored 13 points. But maybe more importantly was the performance by Jaden Bradley, who had not found a whole lot of success in the stat sheet so far this season, but finished 5 for 7 in this game for 13 points. Kelvin, first thoughts, I should say, on this win by the Wildcats.
Well, you got to, UT-Arlington came out with a fight at the beginning, came with a great game plan. They had a lot of energy, but I knew as the game wore on, Arizona's depth was going to start to get to them and wear them down. And right at that second half, man, these guys just took off, man. I haven't seen nothing like that, in a while. As far as a team making a run like that, Arizona, everybody was just playing great. I just thought the way they just continue to share the ball and the way they just turn up the defensive pressure, that's scary for other opposing teams coming up.
J-Dub, it was very reminiscent of what we saw in that Southern game, where they just kind of came in and took control in the second half.
And same kind of team, right? I mean, that's a proud team. They came in with a bunch of confidence off of that close loss they had in the pit, right? First half, 6 for 10 from 3, right? That's a big part of it. Actually out-rebounded the Cats in the first half, did UT-Arlington. Shot 50% from the field, 48, almost 50%. So, yeah, I mean, they came out, Kelvin, with just a ton of confidence. They clearly came into that building trying to get a signature program-defining style win over a top-5 team in Arizona. I don't think Arizona – I was listening to the postgame, and they mentioned it didn't seem like there was a lack of effort or energy on Arizona's part. You just got to give a lot of credit to Arlington. They were playing with just a ton of confidence. The second half, the physicality of Arizona's guards, the inside players, they clearly were feeding Ballo and Krivas as much as possible. It really wore on them. And I think after that, you're talking about this run, Kelvin, about halfway through that run, it felt like they were demoralized. Like, it felt like they couldn't get anything going. They couldn't get clean looks. They just, I mean, that was that. I mean, they didn't have that confidence that they had from the first half, and it's just too many bodies. Arizona's throwing too many bodies at you.
I thought it was interesting. I thought in the first half, UT-Arlington did a great job of driving to the basket, kind of doing a lot of drop passes, kicking it out, making some threes. And then in the second half, I just thought they kind of they stopped driving and just decided to turn into a jump shooting team. And I really didn't understand why they did that because of what they did in the first half.
10 of their 14 field goals in the first half were assisted.
Yeah, exactly. I just didn't get what the mindset of them was in the second half.
I think what's ended up tough was when one of your major guys, DeJuan Garden, didn't have a great game. I mean, I don't know who exactly, Pelle Larsson, I'm not sure, KJ Lewis, but who exactly shut him down. But he didn't have a day that he's used to having and what this team needs for them to be successful. Arizona defense just did a great job of just really limiting him and forcing him into tough situations.
Yeah, this game, again, I'll mention it was tied late in the second half. And I thought when you talk about defense, and we've talked a lot about the perimeter defense of the guards, but I thought there was a key defensive stretch that was delivered by the big man, Moteus Krivas, where he changed the shot at the basket. And that led to, I believe it led to 2 free throws. It went down. Jaden went down and got 2 free throws out of that. And then the next time that Arlington had the ball, again, he cut off a driver to the basket, made him force the ball back outside. They missed the shot. Arizona goes down, and Caleb Love hits that 3. And that was essentially, the Wildcats before that sequence, they were down 32-30. And at the end of that, they were 35-32. And I felt like that kind of was the turning point for this Arizona Wildcats. And again, delivered by a freshman who hasn't had a lot of time out there on the floor, but at the defensive end was doing the right things for this team to kind of ignite things offensively.
Well, again, I always say, for teams like Arizona, your toughest game is at practice. And he's going against a guy like Barlow, the athletes he's going against every day with Larson and Love and Boswell and all these guys that they're competing with every day. When you get a chance to play against the UTAs, you're kind of getting a break. But your awareness is at an all-time high because of the guys that you're competing with every day. So I'm not surprised he's getting used to this athleticism over here, and he's being in the right places, anticipating being in the right places as well.
Yeah.
Real quick programming note. We just got a call, and people are having difficulties right now finding us on Alexa and some other places. Just so you know, listeners, there's been a couple of big power surges here in the building over the last 5 days, and I just talked to IT, and I'm looking at all of our systems, and they're all sending out signals to all of our different various places. I'm looking right now at our YouTube page. It's up. So if you're having difficulty finding us either on a tuner or any other place, it's available online. We're trying to get it. We're efforting to get everything fixed. We just had a big power surge here about 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, we were down on the air for a little while, but according to J-Dub, we are back up there. So,
I was at my car 5 minutes ago, and it sounded clear to me. So
yeah, and it is, like you mentioned, we are live on YouTube right now, so head on over. We're streaming this show live. YouTube, Facebook Live, Twitch, at Wildcats Radio 1290. We're up. Signal sounds good over there. Like J-Dub mentioned, maybe Alexa is a little bit down now, but that is one place that you can find our audio stream. Head to our website. We'll check and make sure that our website is up and active. But again, YouTube right now seems to be the place to go for sure to have a chance to hear us right now in our analysis of this 101-56 win over UT-Arlington.
I realized that I'm talking to people. I'm like, if you can't hear us right now on the radio, go to YouTube. Well, if they couldn't hear that, they probably couldn't hear me telling them that. So.
Probably not.
Three post games in a row, 3 days. So my brain's a little fried.
Yeah. It's the end of a nice run here. We'll get a few days off from games and then back at it on Thanksgiving Day. In terms of the minutes tonight, again, you had 8 guys played double-digit minutes in this ball game. The primary guys off the bench were Moteus Krivas, again, 5 of 8 shooting, very efficient in that respect. I spoke of his defense there as well. Scored 10 points. KJ Lewis, 19 minutes off the bench. How about 9 rebounds in 19 minutes for KJ Lewis?
No, man, I'm not surprised. He had to play a little power forward at Duncanville High School, and he was a tremendous rebounder. So it's just one of the assets that he brings to the teams.
And Caleb Love didn't shoot the ball well tonight. Got off to a horrible start. I think he missed his first 4 shots in this game. Only finished 4 of 13. 1 of 7. But once again, it's like the consistent thing we're seeing with him on the nights that he's not shooting well is he's affecting the game. Again, 6 assists, still continuing to find guys in transition, 2 steals. playing defense at that end of the floor. And I thought that the difference for me tonight versus the other night was he started the game as a jump shooter versus starting the game driving to the basket. I think if he just stayed with that mindset to get his first few buckets, in the paint, as we had mentioned in the pregame show, then maybe that jumper is a little bit easier for him. But just started the game as a jump shooter and never really found that in this contest tonight.
Well, you know what it looks like a little bit is that, he's a guy that understands that he's going to have to knock down shots, and he's taking what's available the first, open. I won't say the first open shot to him, but when he's open, he's taking that shot. But I agree with you. I think he should try to get his feet in the paint, try to get a couple easy ones, and then go back to his jumper. We are going to need him to take some shots, and sometimes as a scorer, you miss some on that perimeter. But what it does is it sends a signal out to all the teams in the country, and especially in conference, that look, this is a guy that will take the shot and that he's not afraid to take the shot, and he can make the shot. So that helps open up a guy like Ballo and keeps him one-on-one in there where he's getting a lot of one-on-one opportunities. So him, Larson, and Boswell have to stay, and even Bradley when he get in the game. Those guys have to stay aggressive, because that's the reason why Krevis and Ballo and even Johnson are playing so well, because you can't double down off of those guys.
Caleb sometimes is what I call a fader. He gets going towards that baseline, he'll get the pass, and he'll kind of shoot and keep fading. Is that good? Is that bad? I mean, you'd like to, I would think, see him set his feet and go straight up versus that kind of in motion fading jump shot that we see sometimes from guys.
You would rather that. I mean, it's kind of like you see Boswell. He has just the perfect form, the perfect balance under him when he takes his shot. Guys like Love, though, I mean, the reason why he is who he is because he can make those type of tough shots. He take those shots all the time, and at some point in the year, he's going to win a game or two for us, taking some shots like that other guys probably can't get off.
I think it's like time and place, right? I mean, I think there's no doubt Caleb Love's the best scorer on this team. That's unquestioned. You were on the USC staff when Harold Miner was there, DK.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I never saw a guy fade as much on his J as Harold Miner in my entire life. He used to jump with his shoulders facing away from the basket and squared in the air. Like, he squared his shoulders in the air, and he had that kind of over-the-shoulder release. I like to see a guy square his feet, get his balance, and take his first few shots that way, practicing making tough shots. Kelvin's talking about Caleb Love can make those tough shots because that's what he does. That's what he's always does. I think in this game, you look at the stats, if without his outside shooting, Arizona's 10 for 18 from the three-point line. He goes 1 for 7. Now, I'm not saying those are all bad shots. The other thing, Kelvin, is DK and I were talking last week when you weren't here about the Boswell game at Stanford. So, Boswell got pulled from a game because he had come in. He was finally getting his feet under him after the injury, and he had a wide-open look in a close game, and he did not shoot that shot. He got pulled. And Coach said right after the game, he specifically pointed to Boswell passing up on that look. And he said, look, if you get an open shot within the offense and you got the green light from the coaching staff to shoot, you have to shoot. Right. And if you don't, that's what Kelvin's saying. You got to take that shot because it's on film. Hey, we got to get out to shooters. There goes Ballo on the cut to the basket, whatever that end result might be. So I'm not here to talk about Caleb's 1 for 7 from 3 as being a bad thing necessarily. I just think off the dribble, off balance stuff isn't the right answer with 10 or 15 seconds on the shot clock. On this team with this talent, you could get good shots.
Yeah. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Again, we are live on YouTube right now, so head on over there if you're not hearing us in some of the other places that you generally are listening. And we've got our crack staff working on it. Our superior knowledge engineers, Mark Simpson, Jose Ballerino. They are on it to make sure that we get back up into you so we can talk some Arizona basketball as we head into this Thanksgiving week, Territorial Cup week here in the state of Arizona. And if you weren't with us earlier, that game time has been set for the Territorial Cup on Saturday, 1:30 kickoff in Tempe. 1:30 kickoff. We'll be on there at 9 a.m. from Tempe with the Arizona Game Day Meridian Wealth Management pregame show. Let's get a break in here. Come back. We got everything. We'll review our keys to the game, our best bets, and much more. We'll go back down to McHale Center here from Tommy Lloyd, and I believe it was Umar Ballo and Jaden Bradley in the postgame today. This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show with Kelvin Ifan, JW Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management pregame show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog in Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Window Depot.
When it comes to healthcare, imaging makes all the difference. Don't stand in line or wait for weeks to get that much-needed MRI or X-ray. At Southern Arizona Radiology Associates, we offer multiple exams like MRI, CT, mammograms, and biopsies, serving Sierra Vista and the surrounding communities for over 30 years. With locations in Sierra Vista, Green Valley, and Tucson. Call 520-335-6849. Southern Arizona Radiology Associates, superior imaging, superior care.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & Kay is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. Live rockandk.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Hi, this is Natalie Fernandez-Lee, President of Meridian Wealth Management. As a fiduciary investment firm, our clients have trusted us to guide them down their financial paths for decades. Whether you are an individual or family, business, foundation, or nonprofit, we are committed to your long-term goals and financial futures. We are proud supporters of the Tucson community and all that makes our city so special. Visit online at meridianwealthllc.com to learn more about Meridian.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
What do you mean, trenchless?
Means no trench.
But it's the sewer line.
And they did it without ruining my yard.
The yard we're standing in?
The very same.
I don't know if I trust that.
I trust that because I trust them.
Them?
Ram Plumbing.
Locally owned and operated Ram Plumbing, offering a comprehensive range of plumbing services from fixtures to installation to trenchless sewer replacement. Turn to Tucson's most trusted plumber. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
At Nova Home Loans, we believe everyone deserves the opportunity to enjoy the independence that comes with home ownership. Whether you're a first-time home buyer who needs down payment assistance, have less than perfect credit, or looking to refinance, Nova has a variety of home loan programs for your unique situation. Visit novahomeloans.com or call 800-955-9125 to learn more. Not a commitment to lend or extend credit. Rates and available loan programs are subject to change without notice. NMLS 3087, BK 0902429, Equal Housing Opportunity.
Well, boss, how's the sleigh?
It's amazing. Like it just flew off the showroom floor. Sparkling clean, no chimney dust, and I've never seen his nose so bright.
Recon Auto Detailing.
Recon gift cards to all, and to all a clean ride.
Give Recon Auto Detailing gift cards, and Arizona's premier auto detailing company will come do a basic cleaning or a jaw-dropping full detail, including a ceramic finish for anyone on your list. Get your Recon Auto Detailing gift cards now online at recondetail.com.
Saguaro Harley-Davidson wants your bike. Call or visit our website to schedule an appointment or stop by today to receive an inspection and an offer. Whether you're looking to trade in or trade up or just looking for some extra money, we are prepared to make you a tempting offer. Don't deal with the hassle of selling it to a stranger. We're here to make the process quick and easy. Only at Saguaro Harley-Davidson or online at SaguaroHarley.com. That's SaguaroHarley.com. Some restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management. This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you by Advanced Auto Care, Crest Insurance Group, Desert Diamond Casinos, First Chiropractic, Frog Inn Firkin, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, Blue Whale Car Wash, Caruso's Italian Restaurant, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, The Diamond Store, Goldberg and Osborne, Goodfellas AC.
And we're back here in Tucson. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, a post-game show. Wildcats knock off UT-Arlington by a score of 101-56. 7 players in double figures tonight, led by Kylan Boswell and Umar Balo. 15 points each, 13 for Pella Larson and Jaden Bradley, 11 points for Keyshawn Johnson, 10 points for Caleb Love and Moteus Krivas. And, it's Jaden Bradley. He's either dunking the ball or he's a three-point shooter. And we saw his range tonight in this ball game. Keyshawn knocking down 3 trays. Now, and Kelvin, you obviously haven't been with us, but I want to pose this to you because early in the season, I wasn't sure I was real comfortable with Keyshawn Johnson shooting 3-pointers, let alone shooting 7 3-pointers and leading the team and 3-point shots taken. But what have you seen with him as a distance shooter, and are you comfortable with him being a guy that takes that many 3-point shots?
Well, again, remember I told you guys I saw him this summer. He came by the Summer Pro League while we was over there doing the youth league over there. And I probably saw him run off like 23s. I didn't know he could do that from San Diego State. He made like 20 out of 22. I didn't know from San Diego State that he could do that, but I saw his form. I'm a form guy. Yeah. I like to look at your form. Now, I've seen guys with funny form have great shots. Don't get me wrong. But I tell you one thing. When a guy has a beautiful form, that shot more than likely is going to start falling. So, no, man, I saw him shoot the ball. I was impressed, and I'm not surprised that he's knocking down shots. But that's another thing that you have to get comfortable with doing. His role is kind of changing from San Diego State a little bit. You got a little more freedom here, and you just have to kind of pick your spots, right? And so I thought he did a pretty good job of the spots he picked. He was catch and shoot from the corner. I think he hit another. He hit 2 from the corner. I think he hit 1 from the wing. So those are right in his wheelhouse. I think top of the key will be a nice shot for him as well as when the opportunities present themselves. But
I got a theory for you, Kelvin. If Keyshawn Johnson took a 3 last year for San Diego State, who was going to get the offensive rebound? So I think maybe his coaches, not that he doesn't have that range, I just don't think he had the freedom to take a lot of shots outside last year because Arizona is much more equipped for him to be shooting from out there that they can go and get it. I don't know. I mean, here's the way I look at it. I'm a form guy too, I always have been. But the way I look at it is if you see a person out there on the court, DK, shooting a bunch of threes, the coaching staff's okay with that. You know, if the guy was shooting a bunch of threes and he wasn't supposed to be doing that, he would be sitting on the bench. So I trust the coaching staff's opinion. If they've seen guys be consistent enough from the outside to knock down an open shot, then they can let it fly anytime they get an open look.
And I just want to say this one more thing. I think I'm not necessarily thinking that's what Coach Lloyd is doing. I was going to say, but it's brilliant to let these guys, once you sign these guys to a commitment letter, they're your guys now. They're no longer San Diego State. They're no North Carolina. And one thing that I noticed when you watch guys come and play for Tommy is that you can see that he's letting them do a little bit of what they want to do as well, what they wanted to change from their other school. Yeah. So it's kind of cool to see a coach do that, especially when it goes two ways. You have to play the defense and make the extra passes and things, but watching these guys have a chance to expand their game, that's what it's about. That's what coaching is about, helping guys get better.
I think a lot of coaches, right, are like hardliners and like you don't do this unless I tell you to do it. And I just feel like Coach Lloyd, he wants the players to be the best versions of themselves. And so it's like clearly efficiency, effort, and all those things are a huge part of the program. But, if you were told by other coaches at your last stop, don't shoot threes, you're not good at that, and then you come to practice and you're knocking them down, Kelvin. I mean, it's not what's coach is going to say, don't shoot that, you're too tall. Right. Like, I don't see that at all. I just see a lot of freedom and a lot of love. It's like, I want you to be the best version of yourself. Clearly, he could offensive board. Clearly, he's a good cutter. Maybe that's the thing he maybe needs to add, and the more reps he gets in real game action, the better.
And you know it's real when you saw Anderson take a couple threes earlier. I was like, in the exhibition games, Anderson was, showing that his because I saw him taking a lot of threes in some workouts. He was doing a lot of trainings. They were posting them, and I was like, man, he's not working on what coach is going to want. And then I saw him take like 3 or 4 in the exhibitions, and, I think that's something that he's probably adding to his game coming back next year out of the red shirt. But, yeah, Coach Lloyd, and I'll say this last thing about him. When you let those guys play like that, again, it's easier to turn them down and to ask them, hey, maybe not shoot as many, maybe take off 1 or 2. It's easier to do that than telling a guy not to from the beginning, because you kind of build up that little thing against the coach like, man, like I thought you said when you recruited me, you were going to let me. No, I did let you. And it wasn't looking good early, and I'm asking you to dial it back a little bit. And a lot of times the players are more receptive to that type of coaching instead of where you're already hard lining them from the beginning.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. J-Dub.
2 real quick things. Bo and Hank, man, I mean, they were at USC for a year. Coach said, you don't shoot from out there. They're like, fine, we're going to Loyola Marymount. Then they both led the nation in scoring, right? It's like sometimes coaches always know best. That's why they're in that job. But sometimes coaches don't know the best version of those players, man. And Bo Kimball, that was a long time ago. Also, great news, according to Mark, we're all back up on everything, so everything's good to go.
All right, so you just had to throw my coach, George Raveling, under the bus for one of the mistakes he made while he was the coach.
I love George Raveling. I'm just saying, from those guys' mouth, they just said they were stifled a little too much in their time. And, it happens. Yeah. Not every stop is right at the right time for people.
All right, 520-848-1290. Let's talk to Josh. You are on the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona postgame show, Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm a longtime Arizona fan. I was lucky enough to be in the stands Lute Olson's first year as a young kid. And
wow.
I wanted to talk about how special. I've seen all these teams come through. I've been through all the up and downs, but I think this is a really special team. They've got a few things. That culture of the great Lute teams, of selflessness, cheering each other on, being just as happy when your teammate scores as you, sharing the ball. And tonight with UT-Arlington, I mean, they showed capability of staying with us on the boards in the first half and scoring on us in the first half. And then to flip the game on those guys and have a 20-0 run or a 47-8 run, that's really special. That takes something that not all of our teams have had recently in the past. So I just think this team with great point guard play from Boswell, huge size inside, and all the skills. And I think KJ Lewis, as a freshman, as he gets together, and we're early in the season, if this becomes the well-oiled machine I think Tommy's going to turn it into, it's a really special team. And you brought up one of my favorite memories in the pregame show of the Great Alaskan Shootout. Syracuse was one of the big teams we beat when Kenny Lofton reverse dunked it and took advantage of Sherman Douglas all game. So I'll let you guys talk. I'm going to hang up. Have a good one.
Hey, Josh, appreciate your call and sharing your memories of the program. Kenny, Kenny had hops. He had hops on both the basketball court and he had hops on the baseball field. He went over the wall and got a few.
I never seen anybody faster. Like baseline to baseline. I mean, Kenny Lofton was famous because, he played behind some really good guards.
Yeah.
And then he got to shine as a senior more than anything. But I think he was the 6th, 7th guy off the bench. Judd Bushler was in that rotation as well. But Kenny Lofton, when he would get a steal, I remember he was so famous for those breakaway dunks that they put him. Remember back in the day they had the lacrosse sport event where they would have like Olympic sprinters and high jumpers, and they would have some baseball players and everything else. And they would all get involved in a dunk contest.
Right.
And Kenny was always the favorite. And for some reason, because the judging criteria is like miss once and you don't get a second chance or whatever, I don't think he ever won the thing, but he was the favorite every time. Yeah.
Willie Gault used to
Willie
win
Gault,
all the
that's right, man. He was a triple jumper, right? That other guy was a triple jumper.
Yes. His
that
son
one dude,
made the NBA.
Yeah. And he won every year, I think. But
what's his name?
So this was like a national competition?
It was like before the internet existed, okay? So like television put these weird like crossovers together, like the Wide World of Sports and all that. And it was just some kind of thing they put together. I don't even remember the sponsor.
Yeah, I don't remember those.
Yeah, it was just a cross section of a bunch of athletes, football players, track from the Olympics, some baseball guys, just anybody but basketball, and they had a dunk contest. It was a good time.
Wow. All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program here tonight. Wildcats win it by a score of 101-56. Great to see Umar Ballo get back in the fold tonight. Had a little bit of some struggles in the game on Friday night. Tommy alluded to the fact that has been a little bit nicked up, but they got him the ball early. He was scoring efficiently around the basket. That's the Umar we like to see. 7 of 8 from the floor, not missing the bunnies that we saw him miss on Friday night. And I think for Umar, a lot of times it's just about using the glass. I think he's much better when he utilizes the glass versus sometimes the jump hooks and just try to make it over the rim.
It's best when he goes up with 2 hands, Kelvin.
I'm finna say
he ain't gonna miss too many of those.
Yeah, best when he just dunks it, man. I like it when you're around that rim, man. With the, sometimes the big guys like to show that they can finesse it a little bit, but I like the big intimidating guy that just goes up and try to tear the rim down every time he gets an opportunity. So it's great to show you have the left hand and the right hand finishes, but when you're getting set up the way that Caleb Love and some of these guys are dropping dimes, man, just go up there and just try to just shack that thing and snatch that rim off.
Well, Zoo, right? I mean, Zoo had the cutest layup package of anybody. He could get the shot off super quick. He could get around shot blockers and stuff. But when it wasn't going good, that was a detriment, Kelvin, because going up strong every time. I want to talk real quick about Mo out in the open court where he tried to yam it left-handed. Did you see that?
I think that was late in the second half.
Mo Crevis got a steal, and he must have dribbled from the top of the three-point line all the way to the other basket with 3 guys on him and tried to dunk on it. Got the foul, but it was like we talked about, Coloco doing that. We talked about Ballo doing that, and here's Mo Crevis doing the same thing.
He must have seen that video.
Great.
He must have seen that video for sure. You guys talk about high jumpers that can dunk. Nick Ross. Nick Ross, who was the great high jumper here at the University of Arizona back, I'd say maybe like 10 years ago, 7 to 10 years ago. He was a guy that could really dunk the basketball. He would show. I don't know if you were ever there, Calvin. He would show up at Summer League. He was in the Summer League dunk contest a couple times.
Oh, okay. No,
Nick Ross, the track guy. We talk about
I'm sure
those high jumpers that want to cross over, and he was one of those guys that immediately comes to mind for me when you talk about that. Nick Ross, the outstanding high jumper here at the University of Arizona. All right, let's get a break in here. We'll come back. We'll recap our keys to the game and our best bets and a whole lot more. We'll hear from Tommy Lloyd on this win, 101-56 over UT-Arlington. The Wildcats now 5-0 on the season. It's the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day Postgame Show, and you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
True Wildcat fans know that when you're looking for the best place to watch all the big games on big screens, drinking cold beer and having the best food, all paths lead to Desert Diamond. Bet on your Wildcats and all your favorite teams 24/7 on our easy-to-use kiosks. Come chill on our comfy couches and build your best bet at Arizona's best bet, the Desert Diamond Sportsbook and Bar.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
Problem gambling? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Desert Diamond Casino is licensed in Arizona.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. Did you spend money on your AC this summer? My friends at Rightway will give you back up to $3,000 for those repairs.
That's right. No matter who did the repair, we'll buy it back for up to $3,000 towards the purchase of a new heating and air system.
No repair bills this year? No worries. We will give you up to $2,000 trade-in plus 0% interest up to 60 months. Manufacturer rebates plus 10-year parts and labor warranty on a new heating and air system.
Have an aging heating and air system? Out of warranty? We'll inspect it absolutely free. Call Rightway Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing today.
University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Caruso's, a Tucson tradition since 1938, located on historic 4th Avenue. For 4 generations, Caruso's handmade sauce has been prepared with love by a family member, using only the best ingredients. Enjoy specialty Italian dishes like lasagna al forno, chicken tetrazzini, real Italian sausages, spectacular pizza, as well as many vegetarian options. Caruso's offers outdoor dining on their garden patio with indoor dining also available. Open Tuesday through Sunday, with all your favorites available for takeout. For more information, call 520-624-5765 or visit their website at carusositalian.com.
As Arizona's leading personal injury law firm for more than 30 years, Goldberg & Osborne agrees, bear down, Arizona. With offices statewide, including 5 in Tucson and Southern Arizona, the Eagle gives you home field advantage. More than 1,800 5-star Google reviews prove Goldberg & Osborne has the playbook for any situation. So after any accident, let the attorneys voted best personal injury law firm tackle that insurance company and get you the settlement you deserve. Goldberg & Osborne, 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
I'm Ron Arenas, the owner of Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. As we reflect on the Thanksgiving season, we are grateful to have been serving the Tucson area for over 22 years. Your business and consideration are much appreciated. When you need us, please call at 520-440-4069 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
The new Blue Whale Car Wash, formerly Octopus Car Wash, is now open. They're locally owned and operated and offer many ways for you to save. Start now by downloading the Blue Whale Car Wash app. Then visit their website at bluewhalecarwashaz.com to find a location near you. Don't forget to follow them on Instagram and Facebook for even more savings. And for a limited time, their exterior-only wash is $5 at all 4 locations. Blue Whale Car Wash, proud radio sponsor of the University of Arizona Wildcats.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
Desperate buyers have created tremendous opportunity for sellers. If you've had the slightest thought of selling your home, it's time to call Sean Poston with the Poston Results Team at Keller Williams, Southern Arizona. Why choose the Poston Results Team? Past performance, more money in your pocket, over a 65% referral rate, an incredible Poston Results Team staff, and most important, communication, because you and your home matter. The Poston Results Team. When buying and selling really matter, go to TucsonHomeValues.com. That's TucsonHomeValues with an S.com.
The Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
101-56, Arizona knocks off UT-Arlington tonight at McHale Center. Okay, so we've unearthed the videos from what was known as Foot Locker Slam Fest back in the 1990s.
Yep.
Ken Griffey Jr., Deion Sanders, Mike Connolly Sr., the dad was the trackster you guys were talking about, the triple jumper.
One. He won them all. Yeah.
The father of Mike Connolly Jr., who currently plays in the NBA. Barry Bonds, Michael Irvin, Chris Carter among the people that were in this thing.
Deion did it one year too, but I don't think he did it a second time.
All right, so I'm gonna put this video up. I'm gonna put one of these videos up on our stream here, so you folks can see this. This is Mike Connolly.
But he wants the gold here. There's the reverse jam.
And
this should be
of course, Dick Vitale is
like Georgetown against St. Leo's. Joyner doesn't have a
commentating
prayer. Dick, he
this.
works year-round on his
energy, Dick
Watch
Vitale.
the great concentration, Roger.
Yeah, this is
there
Mike
he is,
Powell,
focusing on the ball.
trackster,
The explosive lead.
my frat brother,
There's the
Alpha Man.
reverse jam.
The track guys were
His wife Regina
nails,
looking on.
man. The track guys always come back.
360 spin. Tuck it away.
But it's awesome seeing a defensive lineman, right? Like 290.
This guy's moving on.
Yeah, this is Mike Connolly Sr. right here. He doesn't like to dribble.
Yeah. You don't have any handles. No handles, but super bounce.
Yeah, he did a free throw dunk, like a legit.
Play to the crowd. Oh, much too different. Didn't expect him to do that, but he pulled it off.
All right, we'll have to come back to this and see if we can find one of the ones with Deion Sanders. And that might be fun.
If anybody out there listening, caller mentioned Kenny Lofton and his reverse dunks and stuff.
Yeah.
There is a great video, one of the greatest documentaries ever made, and it was produced by the great Dana Cooper back in 1988. I think just towards the end, maybe 89. It's called Memories of '88, and it's all about that rise and that first journey. They covered that Great Alaska Shootout, but there's a stretch there where they talk about all the great breakaway dunks that Kenny Lofton did during that season. And if you don't know what we're talking about, the center fielder, Hall of Famer, is he
not Hall of Famer yet? No.
No, but I mean, I think he was second only to Ricky Henderson in stolen bases during that era or whatever. Great center fielder for your Cleveland Indians. He was one of the better dunkers because he was 5'11", maybe 6 feet tall, not a very big dude, but he had crazy bounce. So yeah, Memories of '88. If you haven't seen it, produced and directed by Dana Cooper. So many amazing people involved in this. Right? I mean, if you go back and think about just the names that came out of Tucson, Dave Silver and so forth.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is there's a assistant. Oh man, I'm blanking on his name. There's an assistant director credits going to what's his name who took over for Costas and used to be
Dan Hicks.
Exactly. So Dan Hicks, before he was even an anchor.
Right.
So this is before Dan Hicks was a sports anchor in Tucson and then went on to the national scene and took over for the Olympics. But yeah, a lot of great people involved in that video.
Sabino grad Dan Hicks.
Yeah.
A lot of talented broadcasters have come out of Sabino. Pat Paris, who is currently the main anchor at KGUT9 here, is a Sabino guy. Good high school over there. Okay. By the way, congratulations to Sabino. They are in the state championship game next week after knocking off Mojave last night up in the Phoenix area. So congratulations to the SaberCats. They are the first of the Tucson teams to clinch a berth in a state championship game. South Point and Micah Mountain will at least have two more potentially because Micah Mountain's playing CDO, so only one team's going to come out of that game.
Yeah, CDO beat them.
During the regular season. But they're playing again. They're playing again.
Okay.
They're playing again next week. Yeah, so Sabino will play Paradise Honors in the state championship game. That will be next Saturday night up at Mountain Point High School in Phoenix. So go up for the Territorial Cup game and then head over to Mountain Point and see Sabino play in the state championship game. All right, let's review our keys to the game on this one. Should we start with who should we start with, J-Dub?
Well, let me get it ready to go first.
Okay.
But we can start with anybody. I think Kelvin went first.
Yes, Kelvin went first today, and we'll find out what he thought needed to happen for the Arizona Wildcats to win over UT-Arlington.
Wildcats fans, how did today's Keys to the Game go for the Wildcats? Keys to the Game are brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
It's tough at this point of the year right here because to me it's more about the Wildcats, especially against this type of competition. So I've got to say more of what I said before. I think you have to, first and foremost, pound that ball inside to Ballo and Keyshawn, get those guys going, which I think wears down the other team. They're not a very big team, so you can get these guys in foul trouble and cause all kind of matchup nightmares for those guys. Second, let's get the ball into the post to our big guys and let them finish. Secondly, I want to get into transition. I think running these guys, forcing them to have to use their bench, it'll be tough for them. They can't go as deep as Arizona can go right now. So I would really love to run that ball. And then lastly, I always have to mention something about defense. Got to just keep that defensive tenacity up. The way that they've been locking in and switching multiple guys. I won't give a point thing for this game, but just continue to show that same aggressiveness on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, they obviously got the ball inside to Umar Ballo. That was key early on to getting things going. And we mentioned this was a game where Keyshawn was mostly kind of hanging out on the perimeter, so not a lot of inside action for him tonight. And the defense was very solid. And I pointed out the one play the two plays from Mo Krivas that kind of stood out to me that helped kind of turn the tide there when it was a pretty even ball game. And then in the second half, they just put the clamps down on them.
Yeah, 48 total points in the paint. But a lot of that was a guard penetration, right? So either way. But, I mean, they definitely did get the ball. And I'll tell you what, I think that pressure defense, Kelvin, was fine in the first half. I just think that Arlington made some tough shots.
Yeah,
I think they were shot making, and you just, you got to tip your cap. But I think they did everything you wanted them to do.
Yeah, they wore him down, and that's exactly what I figured would end up happening. That defensive intensity, again, they made some tough shots. Good offense beats good defense, but usually it all evens out, and I think that's what ended up happening. When we said it before, and we talked about it, I said role players usually are not used to scoring big numbers and helping the team, win the game. And when they lost Gordon wasn't able to really score for them. I just knew right there it was going to be a tough night.
Yeah, you can see some of the secondary guys like maybe step up over a stretch, like maybe 1-2 minutes. You see a guy who's had 1-3 in his career make 2 in a row in a game, that type of thing. But yeah, without Gordon, their leading scorer, he only had 1 field goal made in this whole game. It was really tough for them.
Yeah, 2 points for him, just 4 rebounds. He had a double-double, averaging a double-double coming in, and Shamar Wilson also averaging a double-double, but he did get his points in this ball game. He was one of the ones hitting a lot of those shots early, finished with 19 on 8 of 12, and but did not control the boards as we'd seen him do, as he only grabbed 3 rebounds in this game. So, again, that was one of the things you said, J-W. It was going to be hard for those guys to get the rebounds that they had been getting coming in here.
Yeah, this is what I said. As usual, I agree pretty much with everything Kelvin just said. I think number one, you gotta just start out. You gotta start out strong with the defensive pressure. I'd like to see 40% or less from them, especially, and you gotta protect the rim from
total
drivers.
shooting.
40% from the field. They're not a big team, so you got to those perimeter defenders. You got to lock down, prevent drives, and obviously rim protection as well. Dominate the boards. They come in with the reputation of being a good rebounding team, but they don't have anywhere close to the size Arizona has. We saw what happened last time out against Southern, so I'd like to see 10-15 rebound differential in there. Their rebound high is 6'5", and he's going to be scrappy running towards the ball. You just got to make sure you keep those guys off of those long rebounds as well. Just pursue the ball as much as possible. And just like Kelvin said, against a team like this, they only have one center. You got to establish post touches. That's what Coach Lloyd does anyway. So if it's Ballo or Krivas, especially those two guys in the post, I don't have a number either, but something like 30. I said 50 points in the paint last game, like total, but I would like to see those two guys especially. I think Keyshawn will get a lot on cuts, But as far as posting up and establishing post position and catching and going over the top, Ballo and Krivas together, something like 30 points in the paint between those guys, that's a guaranteed win.
Ballo and Krivas, in terms of shooting, 12 of 16. It'd be interesting to see what they combined for in the paint. Didn't get to that 50 number that J-Dub likes, but
48.
Yeah, 48. But shooting for UT-Arlington, they shot 48% in the first half, 25% in the second half. They were 1 of 15 from 3 after the intermission, and they finished shooting 36% for
those
the game.
Poor fans, right? I mean, a lot of those fans can't really stand up that long. You guys got to.
Oh God, yeah.
You can't So I mean, I think it was 6 minutes. 6 minutes into the second half.
Because normally, sometimes I've been leaving these games at halftime, but I stayed through till the under 12 timeout in this game, and I was like, man, these people are still standing up. I didn't even realize it until like about 4 minutes in. I was like, I just thought they were standing because they wanted to be standing, and I realized, oh yeah, they haven't scored yet.
Yep. That's tradition.
Yeah, 20. Again, it was a 20-0 run, 33-2 run to turn the game.
And I'll say this: I'll tell you what, though, the guys gave the coaches just about what they need, that little ammunition to help coach them up a little bit after that first half.
Yeah.
So, you actually got some out of this game. Those other games, 122-point games, stuff, it's tough to go back and coach guys after that. But, after having a close call here, because the blueprint has kind of been laid a little bit of how to play them. And first team came to mind, DK, and I know J-Dub know about this, was Utah.
Yeah.
With the big guy that could pop and shoot threes and everything. So I think the coach is going to have their ear a little bit more after that first half. I mean, I'm sure they heard a little bit at halftime, but when they get back into practice, coach is going to still have this first half that he can go back to these guys and, push them a little more.
Yeah, it was a little lackadaisical at times, some lazy passes, which I think we've seen before. We saw that in the New Mexico Highlands game. We saw it in the Southern game. So there's a blueprint for this team starting slow at times. It'll be interesting to see if that happens in a real game that matters and how they handle it.
Well, I will say this: that's the one thing that any coach always worry about when you have a team that with so many guys that could play well in golf at any point, is that usually they sometimes be a little passive at first. It's a little awkward at the beginning of games because you don't necessarily have. Yeah. Oh no, you got it. Oh no, you got it. You being a little too unselfish, right? Yeah. And so that's the one thing where I always hear me say, hey, go to Ballo, kind of get him going, get the big fella going, and then we all could just play off of him and everybody can kind of settle down.
Real quick, DK, before we get to your keys, I will say there was a couple stretches where they had bunches of turnovers, right? Like maybe 2 turnovers in 4 possessions, 3 out of 5. Only finished with 11 on the game, right? So, I mean, it's not like they were turnover happy all game long. It just felt that way because there was a couple of sequences where they were a little bit loose with the ball. And like Kelvin said, I also like that 1-3-1 trap that they had to see. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can take away on film from this game and the last game. It doesn't matter the final score. It's really about just getting ready for that next Mission State game and beyond. I mean, it's about getting better game in, game out, feeling each other out. And, yeah, I just think you got to cut down the unforced turnovers you can't have in the biggest games coming up.
And my keys were, for me, my key is obviously going to be, this is a team, and you mentioned it, J-Dub, that comes in here with a reputation of getting rebounds, and especially at the offensive end, averaging almost 17 per ball game. So you've got to keep them off the offensive glass, in particular Shamar Wilson. So I will put a number on that. I'd like to see no more than 12 offensive rebounds in this ball game. And I want to see Caleb Love continue to play downhill. I thought that's kind of what got him going on Friday night. Take the ball to the basket and allow that to open up your game for Caleb Love. So scoring in the paint, you mentioned scoring in the paint for the team, scoring in the paint for Caleb Love, I think will continue to be important for this team as they move forward. And again, Pella Larson, I'd like to maybe see Pella get some shine today. We talked about he's kind of been right around there. Maybe a big game for Pella. Knock down maybe 3-4 3-point shots. Give him an opportunity to shoot from distance and get him going, because I think that's one thing we maybe haven't yet seen as much from Pella. Hit the big shot at Duke, but maybe get consistent with his 3-point shot is going to be important for this team moving forward. Well, he made one. He took one, made one. Why don't you think he's taking a lot of threes this so far.
Because I think, again, Pella is super comfortable and confident in who he is and what he can do. And I think he's the kind of guy who's just looking to make sure everybody else gets confident and comfortable with what they can do. And there's some guys on this team. Kelvin, glue guy, right? That term, it's like, okay, whatever, glue guy, sure. There are 3 dudes on this team. I mean, Pella is just everywhere all the time. Consummate professional. Keshad, same thing. And KJ. Those 3 guys, Kelvin, as far as guys you don't ever need to screen for or have any kind of set play for, they're just going to get theirs and do theirs within the offense, make the right plays all the time. I love Pella Larson. I just love everything about his game. I think his defense is even at another level this year.
Yeah, I mean, it has been. It has been in this game. And I think he's, again, Kelvin, one of the things we talked about last week was this new charge rule. And, Pella, I think, was kind of figuring it out the first couple of games. Well, I think he's kind of starting to understand it now, how he needs to change defensively in order to get those same calls that he's been getting in the past as a guy that can take charges and get that turnover for this defense.
Yeah, no, he got a couple today, and I was a little confused because I thought he wasn't set on a couple.
Yeah, I think the elbow. I think the guy got a little bit of an elbow.
Yeah, he got that one right there. I saw that when he bumped.
Yeah.
Usually you get one bump, you don't get 2 or 3. The guy kind of got a little overzealous and ended up getting an offensive foul. But the other one, I was a little like, man, he wasn't quite set, but he got the call. His reputation is gonna get him, the benefit of the doubt more than not, because he's known as a tremendous defender. And trust me, these referees know going into the game, who they're reffing.
You know how they know? Did you hear that stat on the post? 9 drawn fouls in this game for Pella Larson. He drew 9 fouls. He drew half the fouls, and he's got 24 drawn fouls in 5 games, Kelvin.
He leads the team. 6.5, almost 6.5 drawn fouls a game.
And this isn't a guy who's going to the basket every time he touches the ball. You would think those numbers for drawn fouls would be a super aggressive, hyper aggressive guy trying to get to the cup. But Pella's just always in the right spot at the right time. He's just a great basketball player.
Only 8 offensive rebounds for UT-Arlington. Deja, what was it? I can't even remember the guy's name. Dejuan Gordon. And Shamar Wilson had 0 offensive rebounds in this game.
Yeah, Gordon came in averaging 13. He had 4 in 28 minutes.
Yeah, a little different competition. A little different. It's quite a little different from Oral Roberts.
Especially that bench.
3 of their 8 offensive rebounds were team offensive rebounds.
Yeah,
which probably meant the ball went out of bounds.
That bench, Kelvin, when you bring the bench in, I mean, you're talking about, Moroskis and, Philly B, all those guys. Yeah, KJ's a big dude. Like, there's a lot of length, a lot of big guys coming off that bench. So there's no time to rest.
Yeah,
they might be even bigger bodies at each position off the bench, right? When you're talking about Krivas over Ballo and so forth and so on. I mean, rebounding doesn't get easier for teams when that Arizona bench gets in there.
All right, it's time for tonight's Window Depot Glass Cleaner of the Game. And what I like about this is that we're giving it to somebody new every night. How about KJ Lewis?
Man.
9 rebounds tonight for KJ Lewis, the freshman. Again, stat stuff in the sheet, guys. 4 points, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 3. Did he had 3 block shots?
Yeah.
Holy crap!
I seen one off a jump shot. I seen one off
3 block. I thought that was the steals column. I was like, no, that's the blocks column. 3 block shots.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I think KJ is one of the bouncier, quick, bursty kind of guys I've seen come on campus in a while, and his skill set, Kelvin. I mean, him getting that board and bringing it up in traffic and going behind the back and between the legs and all that. I didn't know that he had that level of confidence in his handle under duress, and like to add that to just his unreal energy level that he's bringing. Clearly, want to on the defensive end. I'm just looking at KJ like this guy is all conference like right away as soon as he gets the minutes. That guy is just just great on both ends.
And I think he did that today in 19 minutes,
yeah,
17 minutes?
Yeah.
How many?
19
minutes.
Yep.
And I just again, he's a kid. A lot of times when kids transfer from their local high school to the prep schools and to the bigger schools looking for better competition, I thought that was the best thing that KJ could do. He was playing in El Paso. He transferred over into Dallas, into Duncanville, and I just think it prepared him to another level. He already had the fundamental skill set in his high school and and coaches growing up had gave him, all the fundamentals to be ready to go. But to actually get to play against the type of competition that's going to have you ready, because he's ready. You can tell that he's played against the top competition in the nation, and that confidence is there.
No fear.
None.
If we're going to talk about his block, we got to talk about Pella's block.
Yeah,
that
was
volleyball,
nice.
2 hands straight up. I mean, that was disrespectful.
That was nice. All right. KJ Lewis is our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. Window Depot, lowest prices, biggest inventory. Shop thewindowdepot.com. Those are our keys to the game tonight.
That's a look at your keys to the game. They're brought to you by the Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different. This hour of the Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show is brought to you by Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Lexus of Tucson, Nova Home Loans, Recon Auto Detail, Ride Now Power Sports Tucson, Tucson Police Department, Broadway in Tucson, Dave & Buster's Tucson, Dorado Rock, First Choice Pools, The Good Feet Store, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Ram Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking KA Master Plan Community Design by Nature, University Termite and Pest Control.
Broadway in Tucson presents the Rockin' 2023-2024 season featuring 8 blockbuster productions including Disney's Aladdin, The Book of Mormon, Hairspray, and Chicago. Enjoy the Southern Arizona musical premieres of Tina, the Tina Turner Musical, Ain't Too Proud, The Life and Time of the Temptations, MJ the Musical, and Mrs. Doubtfire. Secure your choice season tickets today and get the ultimate in flexibility and the lowest prices all season. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your season tickets today.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. And coming soon is Del Webb at Rockin' K, a 55-plus active adult community offering a rec center, world-class amenities that promote health and wellness, and new homes with refined interiors and stunning outdoor spaces. Live RockinK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
As a homeowner, you've probably seen some pretty bad plumbing problems.
Yeah, I've seen a few.
We've seen them all.
All of them?
Ram's Plumbing kept entire buildings flowing. Businesses since 1983.
Wow, so whatever happens to my house...
We've seen it before, and we have the solution. Locally owned and operated, Ram Plumbing is Tucson's most trusted plumber. Our team of licensed professionals can fix anything your home can dish out. When your plumbing's in trouble, call Ram on the double. Online at bestplumbertucson.com.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindow.depot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Here's an important message from University Termite and Pest Control. The weather is getting cooler here, and so rodents will be seeking alternative housing. Do you need a professional? Call University Termite and Pest Control, 886-4146. They've been serving Tucson since 1974. You can be assured University Termite and Pest Control will keep you pest-free using the most responsible products and application methods. 28 school districts, 3 hospitals, 2 colleges, 1 university, and thousands of homeowners trust University Termite and Pest Control. You can too. Call University Termite and Pest Control today at 886-4146 or go to bepestfree.com.
Well, it's that time of year. You dress the kids up for the holiday parties, and they hate it. You dress everybody up for the annual holiday card picture, and, well, everybody hates that. You even dress the turkey, and we're pretty sure he's not happy about that. This year, dress up your yard in time for the holidays. Call Dorado Rockin' Materials, and we promise there will be no complaints. Make your yard beautiful and worry-free with their personal service and convenient delivery times. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcasts. So if you've been injured, make the right choice first.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer-installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
The Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Boswell into Love. Out top for Johnson. Keyshot tries it, number 3, and he got it. That's his third triple of the night for Keyshot Johnson.
3 of 7 from behind the arc for Keyshot. Wildcats were 11 of 24 on the game from three-point land, 46%. And, Kylan Boswell, just another 3 for 4.
They all came at the same time, too.
Kylan Boswell is now shooting 68% from 3.
I'm surprised he's shooting that low, honestly. I mean, the way, Kelvin, that ball comes off his hands, it's just, we talked about it a lot in the pregame. It's so smooth. It's so consistent. And, I think Rhino obviously made a great point. You get your legs under you every single time. The distance you can get on that shot, the consistent distance you can get on that shot, it's just so repeatable, Kelvin. I mean, it's just I must have shot 10,000 threes in my life. Y'all get out there by yourself and you're trying to get distance, you're fatigued and all that stuff. If you don't get those legs down, you don't get in that proper crouch, that proper form, and have your shot come through your legs. And he's so damn strong. His legs are so strong. Yeah. When he goes down that little crouch, Kelvin, and he gets that little squeeze of that ball out, it's just the same every single time.
Yeah, no, that's what I love about him, man. I use him as an example to a lot of the kids that I end up training around town. And I just say, hey, man, look at him. You guys trying to do the quick Steph Curry. You guys are trying to do, stuff. You have a guy right here in town that's doing it fundamentally sound, and he's knocking down his shots. I mean, why not pay attention to it? So, no, he has great form. He's squared up. You notice every time he's shooting it within the offense. Yeah. He did one tonight, the one that he missed.
The quick catch, yeah.
The one, you remember the one off the dribble?
Oh, right.
That's the one that he missed. He tried to do a little, fancy little dribble. I think he was feeling himself a little bit, and, you give him a little leeway to do that. But he's just more effective and most effective when he come off a handoff, when he come off a screen, everything that's just in rhythm where he can just bend down. It's almost like a half squat, and then he powers up with them legs in just perfect form, and fingers are spread, the follow through. It's just the right way to shoot the ball.
I just look at it like as simple as you got to walk before you can run. That whole concept, right? I mean, if you want to twist your body around like Harold Miner did, if you want to shoot from 40 like Steph does, where he's not looking at the basket when he turns to let it go, that's fine. But if you can't consistently knock down, what, Kelvin, like 9 out of 10 when you're by yourself, sitting with nobody guarding you and nobody in the gym, if you can't get a proper form, square your shoulders, and knock a regular shot down consistently, then why are you trying to do this crazy turning your body and doing Kobe stuff on the baseline? Like, there's no point in doing that if you can't knock down a regular fundamental shot. So start there. Walk yourself into a fundamental shot, and then you can start Harold Miner in all over the place.
Right.
Man, we had a lot of Harold Miners.
I love Harold Miner for the record. I love Harold Miner. He's so good.
But let's see. I got some more Slam Fest here. How about Barry Bonds? Let's see some Barry Bonds.
This guy is a
Slam
tremendous
dunk
baseball player. He knows all he had to do was lay it down, a simple dunk. He's on his home turf at Arizona State where he was an All-American. Hey, he's going to be a $50 million man. I want to be his agent. Look at this guy.
And welcome back
Well,
to the
this was at
Activity Center at
State.
Arizona State University
This was
in
in
Tempe,
Tempe?
and a matchup
Right.
we've been waiting for.
Deion.
Barry Bonds of the Pirates, Deion Sanders of the Falcons and the Atlanta Braves, and his Deion King in Tempe. Maybe he is this
That's
night.
back when I was
His
running
girlfriend
Club
Carolyn
UM for
Chambers,
Tempe.
their
Yeah.
daughter
Back in the
Deandra cheering, but this is Barry Bonds country. Twice he helped lead
Oh,
the
my
Sun
goodness.
Devils to the College
Barry
Baseball
Bonds,
World Series, and
ASU.
Dick, his dad Bobby looking on.
Two of the most controversial
Young
athletes going
Bobby.
head-to-head. Bonds versus primetime. Mr. Sanders, here's his first attempt, and it's a brick, baby. It's a brick.
No.
Deion tries his Dr. Seuss attempt again. His dunk
With his
with the
little-
hat.
his hat on.
Doesn't work this time.
So both athletes missed their first
Oh,
attempt, and here
man.
comes Bonds with a second attempt.
If I go down, man, I'm going to go down trying. I don't say I'm going to make it, but I'm going to try.
I don't know
Did
about
they sell
confidence
tickets
right
to
here.
these
He
events?
tries to con everyone. Last year
Yeah,
he said, I
yeah.
couldn't get off the ground, and he did fairly well. Look at him right here. Oh, yes, Mr. Bonds, and he says, I love it.
And this was obviously
What is
It
all
wasn't
that,
a
right? What is all that
clean
purple and
slam,
blue?
but his dad,
Why are
Bobby,
people
cheering him
wearing
on,
purple
Dick
and
Vitale,
blue?
and maybe hurt his back on that one.
Well, his
boy.
dad said it went in,
right,
but
we
it
gotta-
wasn't
we gotta
really
see
a
Deion's
clean
next start
slam
before we
jam bam.
move
Take a
away
look
from
right
this.
here. He sort of
Like to
guides
show
it in
it
there with the
home.
right
Ooh.
hand, almost like a tip, but he'll take it. Mr. Bonds is here for a lot of fun. Wow, he got a 9.5. He really got a tremendous break right there.
Jim Valvano, that's a huge score for that dunk.
That is a hometown score. Let me tell you something. But let me tell you, this guy, Deion Sanders, he's got style, and the crowd loves him. It's just a test. This is a test. Too legit to quit. Dickey, take it too legit to quit. Here it goes. He's going to try it again. Oh, he missed it. The lights go out for Deion.
I think
That's
the hat
terrible.
covered
You
his
remember
That's terrible.
Remember about 20 minutes ago I said I don't think Deion came back for a second one. I think it's because I think that's why. I remember all that because I was tuning in, DK. I was
man.
tuning in to see Kenny Lofton wipe the floor with all these guys. I mean that's how good a dunker Kenny Lofton was in college. But the dumb rules, it was one of those deals where you got one shot.
One shot, and that
Right,
was
and when
it.
you're 5'11 and you're double pumping it and it doesn't go down, even though if it looks real good, you don't get high scores for that. So yeah, I remember Connolly winning every single time.
All right, let's find out if we won any money on these Wildcats tonight.
Tucson, what happened with today's best bets? Did the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, Arizona was favored by 24 points, and we all laid that 24 points. The Wildcats win this game by 45, outscoring UTA 58-19. They got 3 points in the end, or else it would have been the best scoring half defensively for an Arizona Wildcats team in history.
16, yeah.
16 was the record. They would have matched that, but they got 3 points at the end of the game.
That defense let me down. That defense let me down right there at the end and gave up that three.
The 2 free throws, yeah, and that 3, that was it.
And I couldn't understand it.
Yeah, bad beat.
Over under was 154.5. It finished at 157.
That 3.
Yep.
I took the over, right?
You
I think
did,
you
but
guys
we
both
took
took
the
the
under.
under. Yeah. So I win all the money.
And I was sitting there.
Tonight.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I was sitting there hating. I was like, no.
Bad beat for sure.
Whiteman, get
That's
up on
2
that
weeks-
guy. What are you doing?
That's 2 weeks in a. That's 2 nights in a row. It's been a bad beat in the final minute of the game.
Yeah, it happens.
It happened in the football game.
It did.
The refs called that foul. The refs called that foul. And I knew right there. I said, stop the clock. Gave him a chance to score. I said, man, Vegas be knowing.
Yeah, that's why they're the ones you talk about smart people, DK. That's why they set the lines. They know what they're doing.
They do know what they're doing. All right. So I am now 6-4. J-Dub falls to 8-2. So I'm 2 behind. Kelvin, you are now 1-1 on the season. All right, here we go. Let's. That's how the betting lines went tonight for the Wildcats and Mavericks.
Those are today's best bets. They're brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, let's head back down to McHale Center. Let's hear from the players, Umar Ballo and Jaden Bradley, after this win over UT-Arlington.
Coach Lloyd said that you were banged up a little bit or whatever? What's going on?
Nothing really too much. I just got hit in the knees a little bit, and they were trying to rest me a little bit, so that's why I didn't have to play much. But nothing really to worry about it.
Did you feel better today?
Yeah, I felt great.
But how helpful has it been to have someone like Mo to be able to come in and fill in, have a 20-point game when you're not feeling as well?
I mean, it is just a big relief for me, when you got a guys who can, come in and do just as good as you can do, and also like keep foul pressure on the other bigs. It just, gonna help me down the stretch. So I'm really grateful that we have him here.
I know it's only been 5 games, but you guys played at Duke. You've been in a big moment already. What have you seen out of him in terms of high-pressure situations?
Man, it's crazy. He's just a freshman. You don't literally see that, like, nowadays. A freshman coming in, stepping up, have big moment, playing the big games, and Mo is a pro, honestly. Even though he's a freshman, but he's a pro. He knows how to take care of his body, and he knows how to put himself in a good position, to score an easy basket.
You've been here for a while now. Is this the most complete team you've been on so far?
By
like
far,
balance?
By far. Like, I feel like we have guys in every position, that can, come in and lift us up.
Was today maybe the most comfortable you felt out there?
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Why was that?
Just a couple games under my belt, coaches in my ear, my teammates in my ear, just giving me that confidence, and, just felt great today.
Did you, were you looking for your shot more maybe in this one?
Just playing Arizona basketball, getting multiple ball screens, getting 2 feet in the paint, and, taking the right shot, and it was going in today, so.
You held them to just 19 points in the second half. What was Coach's message to you guys at the half, and what adjustments did you guys really focus on?
They came out, hot, making a lot of shots from the 3. I think they had 6 threes at halftime. We came out just more ball pressure, contesting more shots, and it was helping our offense flow in transition as well. So,
considering the depth that you guys have been able to use so far this season, do you feel like you guys are wearing teams out in the second half? Are you seeing that anymore? That maybe teams are getting tired in the second half because you guys are able to rotate better?
Yeah, for sure. We have more depth, and also we have so many starters on the team. Unfortunately only 5 can start, but we have good enough 8 guys who could start anywhere. So that's why it's so hard to keep it up with us.
It's been the biggest transition for you, kind of learning this system, learning the way Tommy wants you to play during these 5 games?
Just trusting what he's telling you. It might not work the first time, but, stick with it, and it's going to work out in the end. So, just trusting him and trusting my teammates, and, everything's going to work out for itself.
See any parallels to the game tonight versus Friday night, where you have the opponent shooting a bunch of threes and then you guys shut that down and totally turned the game around, or was it different the way they were going about it tonight?
Yeah, it was kind of, they're a great team. They came out, hot, shooting a lot of threes like last game on Friday. So, we just had to make those adjustments and, contest those threes and kind of make it harder for them to make them. So that was really it.
I don't know what the final number was, but I think at half you guys only had 4 turnovers. I don't know if you got in that double-digit range. I don't believe so. But what do you think the difference was in terms of controlling the ball tonight?
I think the biggest difference was second half we came and played Arizona basketball. We got the best bigs in the country, so making the easy plays. Colin had a lot of assists just straight to Umar. So just making those easy plays and finding the easy reads, so it made it easy, and the turnovers kind of were fewer. So.
It might have been your first shot that you made where it was kind of like you did a bit of a ball fake and then a step back and all that. Is that something that maybe you weren't as willing to do the first few games?
Yeah, I just been in the gym, with Rim and, Coach Lloyd, and they've been instilling that confidence in me and trusting the shots that I shoot in practice and, translating that to the game. So.
Umar, what does it mean for the team to have a guy like Jaden and then a guy like KJ and Krivas? You guys go 8 deep with 3 solid guys that you can rely upon and not have to have those extra minutes out there on the court.
I'm telling you, we have 8 starters. Those guys are good enough to start any team, and we are just grateful to have those guys come in here and buy into our system and adapt into our culture and, just play Arizona basketball. So we're just grateful to have them.
One more question.
What do you guys think about just the week ahead and the chance to play Michigan State, kind of get back into playing another high major team?
I mean, Michigan State is a good program. They're a really good team and well coached, and so are we. So we're just gonna really focus on ourselves, get ready this next couple of days, and play them.
Do you feel different with these few home games, just going into this versus going into the Duke game? I mean, more, were there little things you found you kind of were able to work on? In these
just playing hard. No matter who steps on the court. Duke game was hard. Every game has been tough. So, just coming to the mindset next game. Playing a great team. They had a great schedule. And, that's what we look for. Playing other great opponents. So really going to be tested. So.
Those are the players after the game tonight. Oumar Ballo finished with, again, 15 points on 7 of 8 shooting, and it was Jaden Bradley, 13 points on 5 of 7 shooting, talking about getting the ball to the big guys. And, again, the big guys, if you talk about the main post guys, because Keshad kind of was more of an outside threat tonight, but Oumar and Krivas and Morauskas combined to go 18 of 22. Tonight. Pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, who can match that, Kelvin? Who's gonna match this? I mean, we know Edey on the schedule coming up. That guy's 7'5". He probably weighs 340 pounds. But there's just not a lot. There's no front lines I've seen so far in the year that have the quality depth that this Arizona team does.
Nah, that's just going to be tough to match up. And, if they want, they can go Ballo and Krivas in there and move Keshad to the 3 if you want it. Yeah. I mean, with the way that he's able to play on the perimeter. And so they can go big. They can also go small and put Keshad at the 5.
He hasn't done that yet, though. He hasn't played Ballo and Krivas together yet. Have they been out there? No,
I don't think. Wait, maybe for a minute or two. But Pella, Kelvin's my favorite power forward in the game. Like when they run a small lineup and they got Pella at the 4, Keshad at the 5. I mean, with the guards they got on this team, that small ball lineup is gonna crush it whenever they get in the game. Man, it's a big problem, especially defensively.
All right, before we let you go here, Kelvin, we'll take a look at our pests of the game, as we had said before the game. I think you had Dejuan Gordon. Or did you have Dejuan Gordon?
I did.
You had Dejuan Gordon. Dejuan, again, struggled 1 of 6, 2 points in the game, had 4 assists, but not really a factor. Kelvin had Shamar Wilson, and he finished 8 of 12. 19 points, but did not
home state guy, right?
Yeah, that the kid from Towns.
He was feeling himself. Yeah, he was happy to be home.
He hit that 3 in, boy.
yeah, he left that hand up there a little bit.
Yeah.
Only 3 rebounds, but did get 3 blocks in the game and had an assist. And then my guy off the bench, Makai Williams, 7 points, 3 of 6 shooting, had 3 rebounds, turned the ball over 4 times, and had 1 assist and 1 steal. So.
I think it was tough to be a pest under that pressure, especially second half. Yeah. There's just nothing to do.
Final thoughts on this one, Mr. Ifan?
Again, man, the guys are playing great. That second half, they really turned up. Show why they top 3 teams in the nation. Love their aggression defensively. Love how unselfish they are offensively, because that's the way you really connect that team. So just excited to see more against better competition.
All right, and that better competition will be on Thursday in Palm Springs against the Michigan State Spartans. We will talk to you then, Kelvin.
They started Kelvin 2 for 31. Did you see that? From deep. The Spartans, and that they were like 1 and 2. I think to start the year.
Games, they were 2
they
for 31,
have upped their 3-point shooting to 15 out of 70 on the season. So their struggles, 2 losses on the year, a lot of that. So those shots are going to fall. Don't look at that record and think that was a top 10, top 15 team coming into the year. Right. Their outside shot has been abysmal all year long.
All right, we'll hear from Tommy Lloyd when we come back. Put a cap on this one, get you some scores, and say goodnight. It was 101-56 in favor of the Wildcats. One more segment to go. Last chance for you to get in on if you'd like to. 520-848-1290 with Kelvin Ifan and J.W. Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the Meridian Wealth Management postgame show on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by Casino del Sol, Soul Sports, Bet Easy, Win Big, Bet Local. Your home for Arizona football play-by-play is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, this is Tim Couch, retired NFL quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, partner at Meridian Wealth Management, and proud member of Meridian's Tucson Advisory Business Council. It's my favorite time of year, college football season. I've always been a proud Wildcat. As our firm has grown in Tucson with Ruben and Natalie Fernandez, I now cheer on 2 Wildcats every year. My alma mater of Kentucky, of course, and our U of A Cats. Here's to a great football season, and go Cats.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Are you ready to adopt? Come to the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. When you adopt from us, you will save more than one life. You'll also make room for the next pet in need. The Humane Society of Southern Arizona has been compassionately serving pets and the people who love them since 1944. Our knowledgeable adoption matchmakers will help you find the right pet for your home and support you after you adopt. We are open 7 days a week at our main campus at 635 West Roger Road. Learn more and see adoptable pets at hssaz.org.
Cantina nachos, strawberry watermelon margaritas, a few zombie kills, and all your favorite sports teams live? When your day calls for some winning, it's time for Dave & Buster's, where you can eat, drink, play, and watch all the sports you want. They've got massive HD TVs, hundreds of the hottest new games, a chef-crafted menu, and an incredible list of beers, wines, and cocktails. So remember, if your day calls for a little victory, a little triumph, a little win, it's probably calling for Dave & Buster's.
Do you often worry you left the garage door open? With a LiftMaster garage door opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out.
Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates is your authorized local LiftMaster dealer. Visit KaiserDoor.com for more information.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & Kay. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Explore natural open space, a network of connecting trails, and a community park within the Vail School District. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rock & Kay with home savings up to $35,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockandK.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Hi, it's Floyd, the family man with the family plan. Outdated HVAC systems will drive up your electric bill, drain your wallet, and peace of mind. Save now at Goodfellas with no payments or interest till 2024. Get a 30% federal tax credit, up to $2,000 off qualifying heat pumps. Trust Goodfellas. We're locally owned with thousands of 5-star reviews. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Visit us at goodfellasac.com to schedule a no-cost estimate.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
Does it feel like the price of everything is going up, up, up? We can't control the price of gas or groceries, but at Royal Buick GMC, we never add market adjustments, even while other dealers add fees because inventory is limited. At Royal Buick GMC, you can rest assured you won't pay market adjustments, and we stand by our transparent online pricing. Royal Buick GMC, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $529 doc fee. Royal Buick GMC, in the Auto Mall and at RoyalTucson.com.
The Window Depot is proud to sponsor the first look at today's game and would like to invite Arizona Wildcat fans to visit one of their Tucson warehouses. The Window Depot provides over 1,000 in-stock vinyl windows, interior and exterior doors, plus granite and quartz countertops, and a huge selection of custom cabinetry, all at the lowest prices in town. Consider the Window Depot your MVP when it comes to your home improvement needs. Stores are open Monday through Saturday, or order online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
My heat and air, we're in a state of
I'm Ron Arenas, the owner of Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing. As we reflect on the Thanksgiving season, we are grateful to have been serving the Tucson area for over 22 years. Your business and consideration are much appreciated. When you need us, please call at 520-440-4069 for all your cooling, heating, and plumbing needs.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
The Meridian Wealth Management Postgame Show continues on the home of Arizona men's basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wildcats win it 101-56 over UT-Arlington. Let's get the highlights on tonight's game.
Keshad feed it top for Love, coming off a 20-point game. Inside, Ballo, who slams it home with two hands. Will bounce it to Larson, top of the key. Pella to the right elbow, looking inside for Ballo being fronted. Go right corner, that's Johnson for three. Out high for Larson, feed it off for Bradley. Slashing his way down right of the lane, turns, fade away up and good for Jaden's midcourt. Drives inside, tried to shoot over Krivas. Mo blocks the shot to the floor, and the turnover sends it the other way. Karoma has his shot blocked. Ball baseline left. Boswell into Love. Out top for Johnson. Keshad tries it, number three to develop. Get it ahead to Talbot. Talbot out top. Pass stolen by Larson. Pella will drive the other way. Slam it home.
Arizona's ball pressure creating opportunities.
Love, right corner. Larson pump fake the three. Back out to Love. He will take the three, and he's got it. Caleb Love with the Alexis of Tucson charity three. Long rebound out to Love. Caleb will take it across midcourt. Skip pass underneath. Ballo open. Slam two for Umar. Standing dribble. Bounce ahead to Larson out. Top of the circle. Wide open. Turn. Shoots the three. Scores the three. Pella Larson with Alexis. Up for Larson. Looking inside for Umar. Feed it right for Love. He'll go down the baseline. His shot good off the glass. Nice up and under. With the lead. Love high for Larson. Inside to Ballo. Open. Slam it down. Two more for Umar Ballo. Boy, when he gets... Lewis now. Secondary break. Back door to Law. Underneath. Krivas will slam it home.
Share the sugar. Passing it around.
Larson down. Leave it off for Love. Caleb. One bounce. Nobody open inside. Cross court. Jaden Bradley for three, and Bradley drains. And shot missed, and the rebound taken down by KJ Lewis. Now here's Lewis, nice bounce pass ahead. Driving is Johnson to Mo Krivas, who slams it home.
Arlington looks guessing, denying those lanes.
Darius Miles has checked in for UT-Arlington, his first appearance. Here's Boswell, three straight away is good. Turn around for Kylan Boswell, pounded his chest. Douglas, his first shot of the night, off no good. Cats with a rebound. Lewis to Boswell. A three ball is good. Kylan Boswell, I think, feeling it a bit here in the second half.
Wow.
Arizona wins it 101-56 over UT-Arlington. Wildcats are now 5-0 on the season. Kylan Boswell feeling it for sure. We mentioned before the game, he's shooting, 66, 68 now, and 100. He didn't go to the foul line tonight, so he didn't have any chance to mess that up. But another 60% shooting night from the floor. So he is really, really putting up some fascinating numbers in the first part of this season.
Second half, I watched at home, and I heard them say that he's not on the Kuzi list.
The Kuzi list.
That's the best point guard, I think.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so the award, like the national award for the best point guard in the nation, like he's not on that list.
Wow.
Right. Like, who's making that list right. And what game are they watching? Because, I mean, Kylan Boswell, I don't think there's anybody in the nation I would trade as a starting point guard. 18 and a half, just super efficient and just amazing handling the ball and under that pressure. And, I mean, the numbers you just threw out there is a result of everything we've talked about. I mean, he's super consistent with his release, gets his feet under him, doesn't take bad shots. Number one, you talked about that one off the dribble, or Kelvin was talking about it, feeling it, whatever. Not a lot of those shots, mostly within rhythm. And those numbers aren't going to change if he keeps doing that.
That's kind of like Tetero and McMillan not being on the wide receiver, the Blitnikoff list at the beginning of the year.
Like, what? What are they? What? What?
Arizona not getting any respect. No respect. That's okay. We just play, we show you, and then we'll go out and win the award in the end.
Yeah, I know Kylan Boswell's not playing for awards, not individual awards. No. He's playing to win games. But, I mean, I don't see a lot of point guards around the country who are as good right now as a 18-and-a-half-year-old sophomore as Kylan Boswell. It's that simple.
All right, let's give you your Mesquite Valley Growers scoreboard.
The Pac-12 scoreboard is brought to you by Mesquite Valley Growers. Mesquite Valley Growers. Real growers, real experience, real nursery.
Finals tonight in the Pac-12. Number 16, Southern California wins at the Galen Center at home against Brown, 81-70. Boogie Ellis, 28 points. Washington State beats Rhode Island at the Basketball Hall of Fame tip-off in Massachusetts, 78-57. It was Utah falling at home. Not at home, but at the Shriners Children's Charleston Classic down in South Carolina. They lose to St. John's, 91-82. Is Pitino coaching St. John's now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
he is.
Yeah. So Rick Pitino's team goes down there and gets a win. And one game is just getting underway, and that is Washington and San Diego State over in Las Vegas at the Continental Tire main event. And early on, Washington leading the Aztecs by a score of 14-13. Checking quickly on your top 25 today. See if there were any upsets of note. Not a lot of games to be had. Illinois beats Southern, so Southern leaves here, goes to Illinois. They fall to the Illini, 88-60. And Louisville, actually loses at home to Texas, or at the Salva Empire Classic. The Longhorns win it 81-80, so they remain unbeaten on the season. Miami over Kansas State, 91-83. UConn beats Indiana 77-55. Michigan State, the Wildcats' next opponent, gets a win today at the Acrisure Invitational as they knock off Alcorn State.
Sounds like a golf tournament.
Yeah, Acrisure. There's a stadium, isn't that the stadium in Pittsburgh? I believe is Acrisure.
I refuse to keep track of the naming rights on all these stadiums. DK, I refuse.
But the Spartans win, so they are 3-2, and I do not believe they have any more games heading into Thursday, but we'll check here just real quick. No, that's their final game. So they've beaten Southern Indiana, Butler, and Alcorn State. Losses to Duke and James Madison so far this season. Women's college basketball, Arizona falls to Ole Miss down at the Battle for the Atlantis. Final score there today was 56-47 in favor of the Rebels. Maya Naji led the way with 12 points. She was the only Wildcat in double figures today. Arizona women's volleyball falls at home today to Oregon by a score of 3-0. The ladies did not win a set this weekend in losing to both Oregon State and Oregon. They will wrap up their season coming up this week. The Territorial Cup Series match will be next Saturday. That'll be a 5 p.m. start time here in Tucson. They'll take on the Sun Devils. They actually have two games this week. They play Washington on the road. Wow, they got to go on the road and play Washington Wednesday in Seattle and then come back home and play Arizona State on Saturday to wrap up the season. 101-56 was the final at McHale Center. Wildcats get the win over the UT-Arlington Mavericks. First ever meeting between these two teams, and it goes to Arizona. Let's hear from your head coach, Tommy Lloyd.
And get you guys home. You've had a busy weekend.
Their coach said that they kind of anticipated that you guys would play harder in the second half. He said maybe flippantly, he says, Tommy probably got into him at halftime, made him play better defensively. Did that happen, and how would you?
Nothing crazy. Obviously we have a standard that probably wasn't met in the first half, and UTA probably gets some credit for that, and and our guys probably get a little bit of blame, and the coaches are involved in that too, and I just think the lesson is that success and winning doesn't come easy, and it always has to be based with effort. And you layer it with intelligence and passion and unselfishness, and now you got something. But if you don't put all those things together, you're gonna come up a little bit short. And so I was kind of happy how he responded in the first half because it wasn't coming easy. And that you don't start games up 30-0. So there's always that kind of back and forth, that fight early in a game. They took a little bit of a lead. we made a run, and then I was kind of disappointed at some of our shot selection, just with a couple, and we're a program, we play with great freedom, but, we also play with intelligence and unselfishness. So, we address that, and I think those are great lessons for us to learn. And then we kind of obviously fixed it a little bit, and we got on a little bit of roll there in the second half.
Similar to the other night against Belmont, the way this game, especially early, they're hitting a lot of threes. You're maybe,
maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I would have to say I don't know. I think that Belmont, I felt like we were a little more locked in. And maybe some of the threes they were making were from guys that weren't necessarily 3-point shooters. Maybe it was maybe a little bit of a scout-based deal. This one was, we just our effort wasn't there on loose balls and some rebounding things early, and just some of the the situations where we wanted to take advantage and pressure them, and that's what happens. So but it's great to learn that stuff. Like, listen, you have to be a little bit of a realist as a coach, even though you're a big dreamer. That every half of basketball ain't going to be perfect, and you have to respond and learn, and make some adjustments. And a lot of times those adjustments are just mentality and effort, and I thought our guys did that.
Umar said that you guys have 8 starters. Is that kind of how you look at it in terms of the rotation, that you'd be comfortable with any of them out there?
For sure, I am comfortable with any of them. Like a guy like KJ, he just really impacts the game. Like it's even like loose balls. Like KJ's, it's 75-25. He getting them. I always joke in practice, like, who's going to get a loose ball besides KJ? Because he gets all of them, and he does it in games. And then those are run starters. Those start runs and create easy transition offensive opportunities. So I'm really happy with him. JB, I thought, played, obviously his best statistical game today. He's been rock solid for the most part, but he's a really good player, and I want him to kind of find his way in his program. And for a guy to become authentically good, which he will be and he is, you can't script it. It's got to kind of come within the system, within the flow of the game. And I thought he found his opportunities today and really took advantage of him, and it was great. And, Kylan, I thought, had a little bit of a breakthrough just with some of his post-entry passes, obviously that's an important, part of our system is, those early post-ups in transition, and just his ability to see him and find him, and sometimes, some of these young players, they kind of struggle to see through the bodies when there's a lot of bodies on court, and there's bodies in front of you and this and that, and but down, maybe inside there's a big advantage. Can you see through the trees a little bit? So I thought he had a little bit of a breakthrough with that today, which is exciting for me.
Is this the most balanced team you've had since you started?
Yeah, it's only my third team I've had since I've been here, and that first team was, really good, had 8 players, and you had an explosive guy like Ben, so we had we weren't quite as deep, so guys maybe got more opportunity and more shots, and Zoo was right there. And then last year's team, we ended up kind of slicing a little thin and only playing 7 guys for the most part. So I think the depth gives us the most balance for sure.
What do you take from this 3-game homestand into Palm Springs?
And we're fired up. We get an opportunity to go play one of the great programs in college basketball. Coach Izzo, someone I really look up to. They're a program that's built on grit and fight, and I'm expecting a knockdown drag out. They might have lost a couple games. Obviously this James Madison team sounds like they're kind of like one of the talks of the mid-majors in college basketball. I haven't watched the game yet, but I heard they're really good. And then they lost a tough one to Duke, in the Champions Classic. So, they're going to take this as an opportunity to come play another national caliber program, and I know they're going to take a big swing, and we're going to do the same. So I'm fired up. I think it's a great opportunity for us to continue to build and try to have a successful season.
Was this like a third-party kind of arrangement game, or did you and Coach Izzo work this out?
Yeah, Coach Izzo and I've known him for years, and he's been really good to me. It was put together by other people, but I think there was a mutual respect there, and I've bugged him a little bit here and there to see if we could schedule like a home and home type thing or something like that, and it just hasn't happened yet, but we're grateful for this opportunity for sure.
The run that you had that ended the first half and then started into the second half, the fans always stand up until the opponent scores the first time, and they didn't until the TV timeout. Considering what you had said on Friday about the energy and all that, how did you feel?
I felt good. I told our guys, hey, I don't know what to expect Sunday afternoon. I don't know if people are going to be sleepy after lunch in church, or they're going to come out, breathing fire. But we need to be the spark. Our effort and energy need to be the spark for the crowd. We don't need to wait for the crowd to get us going. So I think there was a good kind of back and forth with some of our guys, making some energy and effort plays, and then the crowd responding and building a little bit of momentum for us.
How do you feel about, in general, where the team is at going into this one versus when you went into Duke? In other words, did these last 3 home games allow you to?
I pretty much slice it game to game. So I feel like we're, right where we should be. And we're going to play a great program. And I know it's going to be a really hard game. It's going to present a lot of challenges. So, I'm excited for that. If we win, it'll be awesome. If we lose, we'll be all right. And it's a long season, and whatever happens that game, we're going to try to obviously go play our best, and hopefully we do play well. But if we don't, we're going to learn from it. So I'm just excited for that opportunity.
Do you feel, at least with the rotation, do you feel any more comfortable with what you've got, or it seems like
listen, yeah, it'll vary. I'm comfortable. Listen, Conrad, kind of there as the 11th guy. He's a good player. I'm comfortable with all those guys in some form or fashion. I think where I'm most comfortable is we have live reps now. So, we have finally get a little bit of a break. Our schedule's been a little kind of jagged a little bit. Now we get a little bit of 3 days to kind of obviously prepare for Michigan State, but then, kind of clean up some of our stuff and maybe add some of our next layers to what we want to do. So I feel good now that we have real live bullets to teach from and for the players to learn from.
All right, that's the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Tommy Lloyd, after a 101-56 win over Utah. Conrad Martinez, he mentioned there at the end, played 6 minutes, 2 points, and 2 assists, and 1 steal, and 1 rebound. So, again, limited time for the young freshman from Spain, but doing some things while he was out there.
I bet you, DK, that every time Conrad Martinez gets in the game, he gets a steal.
Okay.
I bet you.
All right.
I bet you that every game he's in, he gets a steal.
Okay. We'll keep an eye on that for sure. Any final thoughts, Jay, Dub, before we wrap up? 3 straight days of exciting. The Wildcats, it was an undefeated weekend in terms of the games that happened here in, the volleyball team did lose too, but so we can't actually call it an undefeated weekend. But for the ones we were involved with, it was undefeated.
I just am so impressed with this team, and I'm really excited, as I have been for every year for the past 40-plus years, watching these teams grow, to see the progress. I know Coach Lloyd always talks, he's a game-to-game person. I've always been the same way as well. I'm not coaching, I'm not playing, but I'm not looking for the game against UCLA in 3 months from now and how they're going to match up in that game, because the rotation is going to be dependent on the opponent and how guys are reacting within each game environment. You know what I mean? And the luxury of having those 8-9 guys that you can rely upon already generally takes a little bit of time. The guys who are really remarkable are KJ Lewis and Mo Krivas, because you don't get freshmen, DK, very often to come into a program like this unless they're one of those surefire one-and-done top 10 high school guys to come in and contribute right away and have no drop-off whatsoever from the starters. So I'm just super excited. A great weekend. Obviously, from now here forward, we can no longer talk about this basketball game or the other game. We have to talk about the school up north because it's that week. So
it is Territorial Cup week.
After this post game is over, for the next few days, we're going to have to – no, but Michigan State, huge matchup coming up on Thanksgiving. Really, really looking forward to that. Mirroring everything that Coach just said there. So much respect for what Tom Izzo's done over the past 35 years. Really, really, I've always admired the style, the grit. I think that word he used is so apt because I've never seen a Tom Izzo coach team that didn't bring that energy and purpose every time on the court. They were only shooting 2 for 31 from 3 in their first 3 games. That's why they struggled after that slow start. But they've kind of come around to that. They've never really relied on the three-point shot as much, but always going to have strong athletes, always going to be a good rebounding team. Really looking forward to it. I think it's like strength versus strength in that game on Thursday. So it'll be a great challenge for these guys, and I think they're definitely up for it. So really looking forward to that game.
All right. It'll be a 2 o'clock start from the Palm Desert. We will be on the air at, what is that? 10 a.m.?
Bro, you worked
10 a.m.
18 hours on Friday.
10 a.m.
19 hours yesterday and 15 hours today. So math, you don't have to do math right now. It's not a big deal.
All right. 10 a.m.
We'll figure it out then.
Yeah.
We'll cross that bridge.
10 a.m. will be the start time on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. Spend your Thanksgiving Day with your family, but also spend it with us here on Wildcats Radio 1290. Like to thank all the folks that were a part of our coverage today. A number of 2 games on the women earlier. Thanks to Nate Rady for working with us and Derek Palmer on that broadcast. Dusty Dale, man in the controls on the FM side. AJ Camacho, a man in the controls on the AM side. And most of all, we thank you for listening. Oh, that's right. We got to get our tune, right? We can't leave without our tune. We can't leave without going back. We took you back and let you see some videos from the 80s of young baseball players at the time trying to dunk basketballs.
Yeah. I mean, it's literally the exact same era is what this is. So we can't leave without.
But we cannot leave. We said we were going to all season long.
Yep.
We were gonna go wild about the Cats all season long. Yes.
Cats. W-I-L-D.
Wildcats.
W-I-L-D. Cats.
Wild about the Cats. All right. For JW Madden, for Calvin Efon, I'm David Kelly. Once again, your final score, number 3, Arizona 101, Texas Arlington 56. We will talk to you tomorrow, the Jetfish press conference show at 1:30. Have a great rest of your Sunday. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Ask anyone and you will find we don't do drugs, it wrecks your mind. W-I-L-D. Cats. W.